Hello everybody, it's me Pierre here, and today I wanted to make this video because it's not that I forgot, it's just I've been doing a lot of testing, behind the scenes. I got these controllers about almost a week ago now, I would say probably 6 days ago, and I've been testing it, but I think I'm confident enough to talk about them now and give a good review on these. I got the Valve Index controllers, and you see my G2 over here, and it looks different than a regular G2 for sure. You might be wondering, what is that? What is this? Like, hold on. What is that on top of my G2 right here? Looks oddly sexual. Does that look weird to you guys? Anyway, besides the point, right here is a full body tracker. It's gonna go right on top, right here, of the G2, and, that's what's going to track with base stations with these. Now, I do not have, full body trackers right now, so that's why I'm going to be using the Vive for a while. So yes, I'm switching back to the Vive now again, only because I am in love with these controllers. They're my second favorite though. You'll see what my first favorite is, but these are in second place for me. I love them so much. They are very comfortable. Fun to use the finger tracking as well. Sometimes, in specifically VR chat, it doesn't work 100% of the time. No, sorry. It's once in a blue moon, though. Sometimes it won't track your finger properly, so if you pull up your middle finger, this one might come up a little bit, or it just won't come up at all, and only these two will work, and then this one, and one will stay down sometimes. But if you fiddle around with it, it's only for a couple of seconds, and it's once in a blue moon. It never happens constantly, and it never usually, at least in my case, it never happened multiple times in a row, and it only ever happens, like, once every 3 hours of me playing VR chat, and that's about the maximum time I play anyway, so it's never really that bad for me. But I'm going to show you guys some videos on it. We're going to be using the Vive, we're going to be using these controllers, we're going to get into the testing, we're going to do, like every other VR test I've done, VR chat, Beat Saber, and Pavlov is what we're going to be testing. I want to use my G2 with it, and yes, I can, if I want to. I have the app for it, the, OpenVR. I do have it. It's just, I don't want to do it until I get a full body tracker attached to this headset, and then I will do it. But for now, the G2 is not going to be used for now. I'm going to have to use this shitty-ass microphone on this headset for now. I hope you guys don't mind. Remember, I did, oh, it's on this side. I did Mon mic it, so I do have a microphone on there. But it's still not as good as the one on the G2, but it is better than the one on the Vive, because, you know, Vive is stupid and decides to put it right here where all your breathing is, so a lot of popping sounds and everything. So, at least I got OLED again, and OLED is really nice, so that's nice, but, this is not about talking about different headsets right now. So I'm gonna get right into showing off these controllers for you guys. Are the Valve Index controllers worth buying in 2024? I'm gonna save that answer for the end of the video so you guys know. I do want to clean this first because, by the way, I noticed it wasn't clean. My mom came down and cleaned and kind of smudged it up a little bit. I noticed if you have a lot of smudges on the handle piece, this piece specifically, that's when it starts tracking a little wonky. It, like, as in your fingers, not the controller. Actually, this has better tracking than the Vive ones, in my opinion. It feels smoother, like noticeably smoother. I do want to clarify as well. It's hard to tell. Yes, this is a Base Station 2.0 headset. These are Base Station 2.0 controllers, but I have Base Station 1.0. These work with 1.0 base stations, so if that was one of your worries, don't be worried by that. You can use it with 1.0 base stations just fine. It'll work, like I said, just 100% fine. There's not going to be a problem between that, and there's not much of a difference between there's not enough difference between base station 1.0 and 2.0, so at least what I can tell, it feels like they track the same. So I'm assuming one just tracks further and you can use more of them. As for Base Station 1.0, you can only use 2 of them, and it tracks a little less further, but if you have a room like me, it's perfectly fine. 2 Base Station 1.0s is just gonna work for you, and it works well with these controllers and this headset. So anyway, so that's what I'm working with right now. A Vive Pro 1, index controllers, and 1.0 base stations. Yes, I've already tested the Vive on the channel, but this is the only headset I have. Well, I could use any other headset, and use this as a Bluetooth dongle, but right now I'm just gonna do the raw experience out of the box. The Vive Pro is what I have for this test. Vive Pro 1 with the index controllers. I do not have an index. That is one of the next VR headsets on my list. Same with the PSVR 2, because I saw that's coming to PC, and I love OLED, and that gets close to the G2 resolution, so it's like my dream right there. So I want to see how nice that will look on PC. Anyway, let's cut to the results and show some gameplay with Pavlov, Beat Saber, and VR Chat. All the games that I normally test. The 3 top games that I test. Alright, anyway, let's cut to it. Let's cut to it.
Human centipede. I think that I'm gonna get murdered tonight. Human centipede. The day started off so well. Begin my night, not expecting the fright of my life. She was perfect from what I could tell. How could I not see the danger right in front of me? My favorite food is fish. Baby, that's my favorite too. I love cutting dogs. Baby, I love Scooby-Doo. Hey girl, what's your favorite film? She said the best movie of all, a masterpiece of art called Human Centipede. Human Centipede. I think that I'm gonna get murdered tonight. Human Centipede. Thought I wanna clean. The costume design was a highlight. I like it for the plot. Tell me what the plot's about. German doctors sex they people as to mouth. Cool. Human Centipede. Please God save me. I think that's a red flag. I don't want to get stabbed. She said Human Centipede is a tour de force. I think, holy shit, I'm gonna be the main course. She said I admire the narrative of character growth. I try to get the waiter's attention by blinking in Morse code. Why are you blinking so much? I've got something in my eye. Here, let me get it out. No, thank you. I don't want to die. Bonjour. Sir was blinking at me. Is this because your date is a freak? No. Very good then. Bon appetit. Stop hiding behind your silly made of red flags. Do not take a chance on the best relationship you never had. Maybe you're right and I'm looking for excuses. My heart's got bruises, but I'm ready to choose this life. It could be the love of my life. One day we'll get married and be husband and wife, with a tasteful ceremony and the wedding of our dreams. Only if the wedding is these. Tell me what the thing's gonna be. Human Centipede. Human Centipede. Save on the catering bill. Human Centipede. Only one mouth to feed. If you are the best man, you know the deal. Hock her up. I can finally open myself up to love. I can finally sew a mouth to a bite. Human Centipede. Human Centipede.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that testing. That was me testing the Valve Index controllers. I like them a lot. They're very good, very comfortable, very nice to use, and they're just like every other controller. Same controller layout and everything. It's just it doesn't have a grip button, but it works the same as every other grip button. So it's like a pressure pad. You do not need to squeeze it hard, so when you're playing Pavlov, you squeeze it just a little bit, like a little squeeze, and you don't even feel that squeeze. And that's it. You can also hold the gun with one finger if you wanted to, if for whatever reason, if you wanted to do that. So it works with just one finger as well to pick up stuff. It's not that hard. And it works, and the tracking, I feel like, is a little smoother than the Vive ones. At least that's how I feel. I don't know if that's true, but it does feel smoother. That might be because this is 2.0 tracking over the 1.0 tracking of the Vive ones that I had. So I think that's why these are better at tracking. You can use these with 1.0 or 2.0. You can use every 2.0 headset with base station 1.0 and 2.0. So if you have an OG Vive, pick these up. I recommend it. These are a great upgrade. It comes in with a built-in hand strap. But where does it lay on the tier list? Because this sounds like it would be an S tier controller, right? Well, it's not quite S tier yet for me, even though I like them a lot, because this is unbiased, because I'm about to get into the problems with these controllers. They lay in an A tier with the Quest 2 controllers, and you might be asking, why is it A tier? Now, the finger tracking doesn't work all the time, and it only is once in a blue moon. It's not that big of an issue. You're not going to notice it when it well, you might notice it. Depending on what type of person you are, you'll notice it, but it's a problem where it's easily fixed, and it's always once in a blue moon, so it never happens constantly. Where, like, if you wanted to flip someone off, your one finger might follow a little bit, so it might be up a little bit, or your middle finger might be down just slightly. Stuff like that. It might not track properly sometimes, and I noticed that with smaller hands. But if you do have smaller hands, slide your hand down a little bit, like down this way, and you should still be able to reach everything just fine, and it usually fixes the problem for me. And usually when you get sweaty, I noticed, the finger tracking gets a little worse. Does it affect any gameplay in games? No, it doesn't at all, because it uses the pressure sense, not the fingers to grab onto things. Same with VR chat, it uses the pressure sense, not your fingers to grab things. So that's not going to be a problem unless if you want to flip off your friend and it's not working right at that moment. It's really not that big of a deal. It adds on to the immersion, the finger tracking, yes, but I wish it was a little bit better. But is it terrible? No, because it's not terrible at all. It's really good. And I don't have many problems with these controllers of finger tracking, just if it doesn't track sometimes randomly. And that's once in a blue moon. And the tracking ring is out of the way, it's off to the side, and I never hit myself in Beat Saber with these like I did with the Vive ones many times, and the G2 controllers, I'll admit that. I never hit myself at all with these controllers, because the ring, like I said, is way off to the side of your hand, and it's just straight up comfortable to use. These controllers, they're not as comfortable as the Quest 2, Quest 3, or G2 controllers, but does that mean they're uncomfortable? No, you can use these for hours and hours, and you can even forget that they're in your hands sometimes. You can still feel them in your hands, but like your brain will just push it out like these are like gloves. It feels like gloves. There you go. It feels like you're wearing gloves, because you can just let go of the controller and let your hand relax without needing to hold on to anything anymore. I did test other games off camera as well a couple days ago, so I tested a lot more games. I tested Five Nights at Freddy's, stuff like that. Five Nights at Freddy's works flawlessly with these. Blade and Sorcery also works flawlessly with these. There's not much more I could really say. It's like Beat Saber is great, Pavlov is great, VR Chat is great, and I love these a lot, and now that I have them on the channel, you're going to see them more. For now, I'm going to be using the Vive Pro for my main headset for right now, until I get a full body tracker for my G2, and I'll switch back to that and have these, the G2. Unless if I get another VR headset like the PSVR 2 or something to replace the G2 with. These are the controllers I'm probably going to be using with my G2 if you don't ever see me use my G2 with it, then I probably decided that it's not worth it, and I'm gonna be just continuing using the Vive until I get another base station headset that is better than the Vive. And not saying that the Vive is bad in any way, because the Vive isn't bad in any way, because it's actually a pretty good B tier headset, the Vive Pro 1. It's not bad, it's not good either. It has its problems, but I would like a better headset for, especially for recording for you guys. So probably like the Valve Index or something. But for now, it's about these controllers, and they stick at A tier for me. Again, very good. Are they breakable? They're probably not as breakable as the Vive ones. I know a lot of people are probably going to be annoyed with me at that, but literally, I hit my G2 controllers off of everything, and my Quest 2 controllers off everything. Those didn't break. I haven't hit anything off of these. I haven't hit anything with these yet, but I don't want to. I'm gonna make sure I don't, because at least people say they're breakable. But I'm pretty sure every controller breaks at a certain point. These could be breakable. I'm not saying that they're not. I can't really tell you what the durability is on these. At least what my friends tell me. At least one of my friends are still working. I mean, some of my friends seem like they're not very durable. So maybe they're not very durable. But what I'm trying to say is, with the Vive ones, they broke literally in one hit. So I hit them off my desk once, and one was already broken. So the whole thing popped off. You'll see videos on that later. And for my G2 and Quest 2 videos, you guys, I'm pretty sure there's videos on the channel where you can see me hit things with those controllers, and they work perfectly fine afterwards and didn't break. They might have like some scuffs or dings in them, but that's it. As for these, I didn't hit anything with these yet, and I don't want to, so I'm gonna make sure I never do. And yeah, these are like perfectly good controllers. These are great. I recommend them. If you have an OG Vive, a Vive Pro, or any Vive headset, or any headset that is base station tracked that has Vive ones, I recommend to upgrade to these. These are a lot better than the Vive ones, a lot easier to use, and a lot more friendlier with controller compatibility, because these are exactly the same to every fucking controller that has an Oculus layout, which literally pretty much every controller has now at this point. The only 3 controllers that don't have the Oculus layout that I'm aware of nowadays is the G1, the G1, the Vive Wand, and the Pimax Sword controllers are the only 3 controllers that don't really follow the same path as Oculus is going with the controller layout, which I'm happy these have the same controller layout, and it works exactly the same as my G2 and Quest 2 controllers, so I'm not complaining. It's just there's no grip button, it's a pressure sense. You just gotta squeeze a little bit if you want to pick something up. And you don't squeeze hard, literally. If someone tells you you had to squeeze hard, they're bullshitting. It's not true. It's one little squeeze, and you pick up something. It's not that hard, and it's not your fingers that pick it up. So if you have your full hand wrapped around, you're not gonna pick up anything, so don't worry about that. Unless if you're squeezing a little bit, then it's gonna pick up something. But yeah, I like these controllers. I recommend them over the Vive ones by a huge amount. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say. I know this was a long rant about them, but in a good way. And I also talked about the negatives. I think I did. Anyway, if I didn't, just in case, I'm going to go over it again. The negatives is that the finger tracking doesn't work every single time, not properly. But it only happens once in a blue moon, so you don't have to really worry about it. Again, if you have small hands, slide your hand down a little bit, and the finger tracking should fix itself. Also, if you have sweaty hands, it could affect the finger tracking just a little bit. But it won't affect gameplay, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you have sweaty hands and you feel like it's going to affect gameplay, it is not. You can pick up stuff, you can still do everything like every other controller if you have sweaty hands, so you have nothing to worry about there. But that is one little negative, and they're not as comfortable as the Quest 3, Quest 2 controllers, or G2 controller, but that doesn't mean they're uncomfortable. You can wear these for hours, and sometimes you can even forget they're there. They're also very comfortable. It comes in with a built-in hand strap too to help that comfort, and I think that's a great addition to a controller. I think every other controller should have. But yeah, that's about it for these. Those were the negatives, and that's why I think they sit in an A tier and not quite an S tier, because the Quest 3 controllers actually say what they're going to do. Like, it actually is a very good controller. There's only one negative that I had with the Quest 3 controller, and it's because of the tracking. If you let go of it with your hand and you have it track itself, it's not going to track very well. But again, everybody's going to use it with their hands most of the 99.9% of the time. So therefore, I don't really see that negative as a big deal. So that's why these are an A, because it has slightly more negatives than the Quest 3 controllers. But that doesn't make these a bad controller. I recommend them. Again, I think these are the best base station VR controllers out there, and I think everybody should get them. If you have a base station VR headset with Vive wands, or if you just have a base station headset with base stations but no controllers yet and you're trying to decide on which controller, I recommend these. These I recommend in 2024. I am trying to move my mouse for that. There we go. I recommend these in 2024. They're still good in 2024, and I actually think they're one of the most advanced controllers still in 2024. And I think a lot of controllers need to do what Valve is doing with these controllers. But again, there are some downsides. I hope they can work out some of the kinks with these. It's been 5 years, so I think it's 5 years old now. Oh, and one more negative. I don't like the clicky. I don't like the click at the end. You know, like that. Don't add a click at the end of the trigger, please. Don't do that. I didn't like that on the Vive ones. Do not put that on the Index controllers. I don't like that. It doesn't ruin the immersion for me though, so I just don't like a click with my triggers. Okay, that's just me. I just don't like that. That might actually just be me. Other people might like that, and that's why they added them. Other than that, very good controller. I recommend them. Yes, get them in 2024. I don't care if Valve has a new one. These are still really good, and if you buy them, I don't think you're going to regret it. I really don't. Even if Valve comes out with the Index 2, whenever that is, because it seems like they're having a problem counting to 2 as well now. They have, like, dementia. They don't remember what a 2 is. I'm sorry. But, yeah, don't worry. If the Index 2 comes out and the controllers are slightly better, you don't have to worry about it. These are great. These will hold you off for years and years and years. Because I think I'm going to make these my main controllers now. For as long as I can. And like I said, until something better comes out, maybe I'll switch to it. But for now, these are the best controllers you can get. Right beside the Quest 3 controllers. There you go. Because this is a high A, by the way. Not a low A, a high A. So just behind, I would say, the Quest 3 controllers. Just behind them. Very good. They're like the Quest 3 controllers with a giant ring on the side. There you go. With finger tracking. Other than that, there's not much more I can say. So if you liked this video, hit that like, hit that dislike if you disliked. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you don't miss any more of my content. And I see why every VR YouTuber, at least VR tech YouTuber, like collecting VR enthusiast YouTubers, there we go, uses these with base stations, like base station VR headsets. Always chooses these controllers, and I get it now. They're great. And oh, one more thing. If you're worried, you can move this. You can push it in and then slide it down or up to align it with your wrist better if your hands are smaller or bigger. And it should fit perfectly. I have small hands and I'm on the second top dot. The second top dot right there. If you want to know. If you have about the same hands as me. Anyway, this was Pierre. Stay cool and stay the fuck out of my fridge. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.